Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Yo, Carl, what good, man? Just gonna build a little bit of an audience before we get Will on the show. Yo, Frost, what's good, man? Yo, Shade, what's good? Yo, if you guys can share the link in the stream where possible, please. I'll share it too. How's it going anyway, guys? Any questions you've got for today's episode? Let me know. We can go through it. Let me get the card as well. Oh yeah, and we just saw XL versus Rivers, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool matchup. Alright, we'll get started in 1 second. Yo, Ortega, what's good? Let me see if I can get hold of Will. Yo, yo, yo. See if I can get hold of her in a second. Yo, thanks for your guys' patience. We'll be going in 1 second. Just going to call Will up now. We'll also be going through the Don't Flop card a little bit later on. So stay tuned for that as well. Sounding like the Don't Flop event was alright, actually. Here we go. Yo, Will. Hey, how's it going, man? Alright, yeah, all good, bro. Let me just see if they can hear you on the thing. But, yeah, how was yesterday? It sounded pretty dope. No. Yeah, we'll go into it properly, but... Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. I can't hear you at the moment, so just bear with. No, let me just change a few things as well. And I'll sort of go through the updates of the thing as well. So let me see if I can just okay, so what was the first battle again? Was it Blitz?
Blitz Bracy.
Hey, can you hear me? What was the what? Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, man. What was the first battle? Was it Blitz? You were saying? Okay, how was that?
Oh, sorry. Have we properly started this yet? Or...
No, man. I'm just making sure the audio works first.
Right. Okay.
Sorry about this.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna try and get off the. I didn't want to go into too much detail if it was like recorded or not just yet. Yeah, just trying to get off the card and find that update thread as well, just so I can kind of...
Okay, so I think they might have heard you, so annoyingly there's just a bit of a lag from the live to the chat, so
right, okay.
I've changed a few settings. If you guys can hear Will as we're speaking now,
let me say some things then, just to see.
Just keep going on.
Can you guys hear this guy that's not saying anything?
Yeah. Just literally say whatever, like.
Yeah. We recorded an episode of the podcast, by the way. I'm not sure what's happening with that, so we've sent the files over to the UK BRG website guys, and then they were going to chop it together. But to be fair, it was a couple of weeks ago, so we were kind of previewing a few events which have now happened.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Whether it's worth dropping it all.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But listening to that is always good though, so it'll be worth it for that.
Yeah.
Anything.
Are you good to go, man? I mean, I'll just be going off the update thread as I say mostly, and you can just take the lead wherever. But we'll take a few questions as well. But I'm just going to post this on the group, and you ready, man?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are, mate.
Right. Change to Will Ross Academy. Okay, cool. Are you good to go, man?
Yeah.
All right.
So I just read back one of Blitz's bars, which I'd put in the group, and everyone said it was trash. But then I just horribly misquoted it, and the actual bar was fucking really good. So I'm trying to keep it.
All right, cool. Where's this? Yeah, okay, cool. Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. We're doing another recap. This weekend has been a crazy weekend in battle rap altogether. Yesterday we had the Academy event, and now today we had Retaliation. Retaliation just literally finished after us recording this, so starting the recording. I will be having Connor on hopefully sooner on the live stream. We're currently streaming this as well to go over that event. It was certainly an interesting sounding event, as was the Academy. I wasn't there. I wasn't in Manchester on the Saturday, 21st of July, but from reading the update, it sounded like a crazy event, and thankfully, genuine good friend of the show. I'm not deeming him that ironically. Will Ross was there, and he's back. He's done some orienteering, some scouting. He's going to report what he saw. Will, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really eager to hear your battle rap podcast. That is going to, be a huge competitor to BRR, even though it's like a weekly podcast and it's not like a month out of date. You uploading this stuff, right? Or...
Yeah, I mean the goal is that it's not a competitor to what you do, that it's just a completely different entity in a way. Do you know what I mean? We did when I kind of come up with the idea, it wasn't about stepping on anyone's toes. It wasn't to discredit you guys or Sarcasm City or anything else that's going on, but it was just something which I think is almost like a gap in the market of almost just like more like imagine like Sky Sports News, but for battle rap, basically. Obviously, not as much happens as 24/7 Sky Sports News in battle rap. So yeah, it was just going to be we've recorded an episode now, but yeah, it's just more the format of this is what's happening, this is what people are talking about, this is what's been announced, these battles have just been released. Go check this out. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more hopefully entertaining than just riffing off a list like I just did there, but do you know what I mean? It's we recorded an episode with a man like Dave, who's very well known to a lot of people on the team.
Mythic, legend.
Yeah. I've never actually met him or properly spoke to him.
I've never actually met him. I've had tons of great conversation with the guy, but he exists ethereally for me until I concretely meet this legend. Yeah,
it has to happen at some point, doesn't it? But we recorded the first episode. Like I said, we did it about 2 weeks ago now, so whether we actually released that one or we just did it as like a bit of a pilot, I'm not sure just yet, but there's definitely going to be things happening with it. So,
and today we're looking at Academy 18, the awesome sort of PG tryout type phase of the Premier Battles network, of the infrastructure. Very, very cool. And this is the second heat, as it were, the final 16 after the initial phase. You were there at that first event as well, and you're clearly a big fan of this series, the Academy idea.
Yeah, massively. To be honest, I think it's sometimes tryout events, there's not usually a lot of incentive to go, you know what I mean? So a lot of times leagues will do things where they have a tryout event, which will be, a small venue with like a handful of battlers and hardly any crowd, or, they'll throw in some tryouts and throw it alongside some, middle higher tier kind of guys as well to try and entice people to go. But the way they've done the whole concept is so much better. It makes sense for only Premier Battles could do it, because that's the real kind of competitive sort of league. In the sense that it's like sports other leagues are competitive, obviously, but they've obviously got PB. It's laid out like a sports format. So the whole events are just pure tryouts. I mean, some of these guys, like Frost, LSD, obviously quite well known, but it is purely just newer guys or like smaller battlers that are trying to work their way up. There was no big names on the card really, and the vibe of the event is just great. You know what I mean? Especially yesterday, more so with having the Team Tox, Team Flawless as well.
Right.
Tox, they had a real kind of team identity. They were really fucking with, they were really getting behind their. Some people said it was a bit over the top, particularly, Bracey's on Team Tox, you can imagine his kind of ad-libs are quite infamous already. But yeah, no, it made for a really good event. Yeah, it was a good day on the whole. So
what was the venue like? So And what was the atmosphere like as a whole then? Because I guess there's a lot more, on the line, isn't there, than a normal battle? Even a normal Premier battle, like, everyone's going to be hungry here, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell that everyone there, I don't want to keep picking on him, minus Bracey, I'd say, but you can tell that 99% of battlers came there desperate to win and desperate to go through. So, because it is a really big opportunity for them. So, I don't know how much in terms of how much they're doing it, or I suppose I must be allowed to announce it because they said it yesterday. So, they're going to do another Academy event for the final 8. Then the semi-final is going to be on match day 5, and then the final is going to be at the All-Star game in December. So, some of these guys, like, Major Concerns, who's had 2 battles in his life, could end up being alongside a card with some, like, international superstars.
And that's genuine incentive. Like, that's so much better than Headhunters, where Seuss got to battle Jay Dillon at that event. Like,
yeah. I mean, not that I don't know, other than Mike P and Loso, I don't know who is confirmed on the card, but there's rumours of people like Ilmac and stuff like that. Imagine.
I've got a feeling Big K might be in that batch. Just got a feeling.
So imagine this guy some of these guys that had never battled until like a month ago, and then before the end of the year they're going to be along on a cut. They're going to be backstage with Ilmac and Big K or something like that. It's really good going for them. And then obviously they'd be in a team for next year, so they haven't got to worry about trying to build their rep or trying to see who can battle and where. Like, they'll be in a team, they'll have a handful of battles set for next year. So it's a really good concept, and it really comes through in the events. I'm starting to become a big fan of these smaller events as well. I went to Dub Scandal not so long ago. But yeah, I think these sorts of tryouts events, like it's Zombie Shack's quite a famous kind of battle rap venue now. But it's quite a small room, so it's quite intense. Do you know what I mean? It's just a pit, and the room's quite full, and it's loud, and it's the energy's great. So PB's kind of staying winning in my eyes on this.
And what was the audience like yesterday? Was there a lot of people
there? Yeah, it was probably similar to match day 1, I'd say. You wouldn't have wanted many more people in the venue because it is quite a small venue. So there's probably about 100 people in the room, I reckon, which for a tryout event,
that's crazy.
Is good going. You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of battlers that aren't on. Raptor was there, Bobby Rex was there. A couple of other battlers were there as people that aren't on the card and nothing to do with it, but just coming and supporting and getting behind some of these up and coming guys is good to see.
And a lot of the names on this card aren't familiar to the majority of people. Some of them were out and out unknowns, as you say. The first battle though, 2 guys that people would know, and one of whom in particular, Blitz. There's a lot of hype behind this guy. How did it go, him versus Bracey?
It's a really good start to the day, to be honest. It's probably Blitz's best performance out of what I've seen of him anyway. I wasn't overly familiar with him before. I think I'd seen one of his battles before the first Academy. And then obviously at the Academy he was against Judge T, and that was a good battle both ways. But yeah, he was fucking really good. I think the bar, I misquoted it on the forum yesterday, and I made it sound shit.
Right.
I was trying to say it as a really good bar, but I just made it sound trash. But the actual bar, which Blitz commented afterwards, was I've got inscriptions on the bullets saying "snakes for deceivers" and a silencer on the barrel like what's in the chamber's a secret.
Right.
Yeah. So bringing gun bars to a Gab guy is a brave move.
Harry Potter gun bars. Yeah. Classic.
Harry Potter gun bars. Yeah. The Venn diagram of people that roll with guns and people that are really into Harry Potter. I think that crossover is literally just Blitz. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how many people have read every single Harry Potter book and own a gun, but it was a really good start to the day. He definitely deserved to go through. Bracey, like I said, wasn't impressive, if I'm honest.
Was he cutting his round short, apparently?
Yeah, his first round was very short. And you know what? It wasn't bad, what he got out. his first round, but like I said, he just cut it really short, and it just kind of had the vibe that he just hadn't put that much effort in, which when it's a tournament and there was other guys that didn't get this far, that, you know, you could argue could have, then it's a bit of a shame, really. I think he kind of let himself down in a sense. I don't know if he'll be. I think if he applied for academy next year, I don't think he'd get in based on how he's
that's a shame.
Done these last battles. Yeah, I mean, you know, but in fairness to him, you know, I don't know how much you're not massively into football, are you?
I'm aware of, you know, Van Nistelrooy.
Okay. So, you know, a lot of teams talk about the concept of like the 12th man, you know, when the fans really get behind them, and it really obviously spurs the team on. That's why a lot of teams have like home advantage. But Bracey in particular, Team Tox, he was just, you know, gassing like their whole team throughout the whole day. And some of these guys that, you know, aren't the most overly confident performers just come out and just started barking, like particularly Barnier and LSD, just guys that aren't particularly known for their over-the-top energy or delivery, just fucking great. And, you know, that real team aspect of them pushing forward was good, really brought through the energy. But yeah, so Blitz won quite convinced, 3-0 that first battle. So obviously that put Team Flawless 1-0 up early, which meant I wasn't going to have to apologise to Tox because he said I was gassing for saying it'd be 4-4. He said it'd be 8-0. I said if it's 8-0, I'll publicly go on the forum and live stream an apology to Team Tox. But yeah, so they got an early L, and then the next battle was, I'm just kind of scrolling.
Was it Tidal and LSD there?
Tidal LSD, yeah. This was a really good battle. To be honest with you, you know, both guys obviously a little bit more experienced than a lot of the academy performers. I thought Tidal was going to win going into it just because some of his flips and stuff were great. And I heard a bit of his material beforehand, and it was really, really good. But LSD was just a different level. It was kind of up there with like his DTH performance. It was, LSD really, really upped his game. He's looking like potentially one of the contenders for this now, which, you know, a month or two ago, everyone would have just written him off. Or, you know, people were saying it's a bit of a joke that he's in a tryout tournament, but, you know, he fucking deserved it. He brought his energy, and it was really, really good battle that was. Trying to think what bars I can remember from that. I think what Tidal said about LSD's hairline. He said his hairline's so far back it's still singing "It's Coming Home."
Yeah,
that got a good reaction. But yeah, Dean. I think LSD won that. Writing wise, it was probably on paper was pretty similar. There was a lot of wrestling bars,
right.
Which, to be honest, went over my head because I think I said to Tidal, I stopped watching wrestling like before John Cena was a thing. So yeah, any wrestling bars just go miles over my head. But so they got some reaction. But yeah, I think on overall just performance and energy was what would have edged it to Dean. But yeah, it's a good battle. So that put it at 1-1.
Good to hear. Yeah, but I rate both of them very, very highly. So that was cool to see that it's a good clash. And I think Tidal's one of these people who always gives you good battles, and LSD needs to play to his potential. He has such huge crossover potential, LSD, and he's such a unique figure in battle rap. And it's good to hear that he's having these stronger performances. I want to just give a quick shout out as well to Jonathan Smith, who actually emailed me, contributed heavily to the update thread that I'm sort of quoting from. So shout out to Jonathan, thank you, and thank you to everyone in general who does these update threads. You know, you are sent from above. But yeah, 2 for 2 so far. 2 great battles. The third battle, what was that one that we got into?
I'm just kind of scrolling through now. So,
DARPA just beat Barnier. Is that right?
DARPA Barnier. Is that right?
Yeah, it seems to be about that. I was just praising Jonathan, but then it's the coherency is gone. But okay, Pharaoh didn't show up apparently, so Ike got the win.
Yeah. Which I said in the group, and I said if there was a real serious personal reason, then fair enough. and we can move on from it. But if he didn't have any sort of valid reason, then I think that's a massive letdown. More so being a tournament, more so than just a normal battle. Obviously, no showing anyone's a dick move unless there's valid reason. But when it, like I said, when it is a tournament and there was other people that really wanted to get through, and some arguably should have gone through, and then they didn't get their opportunity. I'd be pissed off if I was. Some people deservedly didn't get through. Obviously, round one, but some people like maybe Gussie or someone like that. If I was on the fence of almost getting in, but was edged out by Pharaoh, and then Pharaoh no-shows the battle, I wouldn't be best pleased. So Briggsy announced it. He said, "Yeah, I could go straight through. Pharaoh's no-shows, no second chances." I think, yeah, you had Premier Battles' philosophy with no show. Well, you've seen obviously the way Shotty just dropped Hunan. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They're not ones for tolerating no showing. So yeah, but yeah, I hope everything is okay with Ferro. Obviously, I hope there wasn't anything in his personal life. But if there wasn't anything, then fuck him, basically.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely. Frost apparently 3-0. I'm hearing had a fantastic performance against Sis, and there was a little bit of a Barney in the middle.
Yeah. Kiz pushed Frost, and then Frost was obviously a bit like whoa, like pushed him back a little bit. Didn't push him back, but like kind of almost flicked him back a little bit. Not like in a, do you know what I mean? So yeah, he got a little bit tense, and then people kind of jumped in the middle. But yeah, it was all handbags, but it looks good on camera.
Sure.
But yeah, Frost had some really good bars in this. Frost was, admittedly wasn't his best performance at the first Academy, but fucking really good. He was honestly probably one of his best performances.
He's so consistent, Frost, and for that sort of punchliney style as well, like impressive.
You know what? Frost just has this real natural like swag and charisma that you just can't teach. In that, even when he's average, it still seems really, really good just because of his persona. Do you get what I mean? Like some people, when what they've got is quite average, if the kind of delivery and performance isn't there, it really lacks. But he's just got, I don't know, he's just got that little likeable, he's cheeky, chappy almost battle approach. But yeah, I've just watched Balski posted a couple of comments, couple of quotes. Sorry, he goes, "I'm winning this by a landslide. You look like you watch YouTube tutorials on how to do gang signs." And then you suffer severely with mild depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tickled me, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'd say nothing against Kiz. Kiz was really good. Was good. But yeah, Frost 3-0 that battle.
How was DARPA
in the room? DARPA didn't stumble, didn't choke. Like the narrative around DARPA, particularly from the back and forths he's had with Tox, was that even if he stumbles, it's gonna be a big thing. Do you know what I mean? Almost like Soul Tony, when Soul's whole first round was if you choke, you've lost, and then Tony choked horribly. Well, obviously Barnier did it. I mean, you might have said that, but in the lead up to the battle, the narrative was DARPA chokes all the time, but he had a really clean performance. Barnier was great. Barnier had a lot of energy, and he was a lot better than match day one. And he's definitely got mad potential for another guy that he's a pure tryout. Do you know what I mean? He's not. His first battle was the first Academy match day, and obviously this was only his second battle. So with experience, he could be really good. I just think he got thrown to the hounds a little bit too early, in having someone like DARPA for his second battle. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so that was arguably one of the battles of the day for me. I think that was great.
And lots of the comments pointing to the fact that Flawless's team seem more like a set of individuals.
Yeah, I don't see it as that. Team Tox definitely. I saw them out. They were outside. They were in a team outside at the start of the event. He did his little. I think they just dropped a video of it. They had like he had his team talks,
Right.
and I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe Flawless's guys did do that, but just weren't as, show offy about it in a sense. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure behind closed doors he did. They was doing all that sort of stuff, but I think just some of their characters are probably a little bit kind of more reserved in terms of they're not the guys that are sort of pushing and shouting mid rounds and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But bear in mind as well that there was a few less guys there for team.
Okay.
So for Flawless's team, Deviant got there very late because that was the last battle of the day. He showed up just before, and obviously, Ferro was, and Deviant obviously wasn't there till the end, and then Ferro obviously wasn't there. So the crowd behind were already outnumbered. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously all 8 of Team Tox were there, whereas only 6 of Team Flawless were there for most of the events. So maybe that had some sway. But yeah, obviously when you've got the likes of Bracy and Frost and those guys shouting behind you, it does come across a lot more energy. I wouldn't say that they were more or less of a team, but yeah, Team Tox were more vocal about the fact they're a team in that aspect.
The huge surprise here with Major Concerns catching a body against Lord Bentner.
Yeah, you know what? Major Concerns is going to be a massive, massive problem. Like, he was so good. He comes in, he just had a polished performance. Do you know what I mean? His first battle, the Academy Event 1, you could see a lot of potential, but he had some pre-written rebuttals that were really good. He freestyled a little bit. He had some jokes, had some punchlines as well. But he stumbled a little bit, and he was a little bit more reserved. Whereas he came for this event like he'd had 10 battles in between and got experience. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he just massively, massively improved his game, and it was a really good battle. If I'm honest, I really like Bednar, but Bednar was very much getting in his face. When one guy's obviously doing his round, and then the other guy stands and puts his ear to the guy's mouth, basically. They just get you really, really in your face. I'm not a fan of that, if I'm honest with you. So for me, that kind of put Bednar in a bit of a bad light. And then the other thing, which he admitted outside to me, he was saying, because Bednar did a whole round pretty much taking a piss out of Major Concerns being like a short, fat guy. But then when he stood in front of him, Bednar was only about an inch or 2 taller. I think he had him in Bednar's head. There was like 6 inches difference between them, and then when he actually stood there ready for the battle, he was like, "Oh fuck, we're actually kind of similar size." You know what I mean? So it really eliminates that when you're using that as an angle. It kind of didn't work too well for him. And then it was, I'd say the first 2 rounds were really good from both. I'd say Major Concerns was edging it. But then the 3rd round, Bednar started choking, and then he just said, "Oh fuck it, well done, you've won," or something like that, which he didn't need to do. Do you know what I mean? He could have called time or something. He would have lost, but there's always going to be someone that thinks the other guy won. Yeah. But when you've admitted defeat, do you know what I mean? It just didn't happen. So yeah, I'd say he's definitely up there as one of the performers of the day. Major Concerns. If Bednar would have got all 3 rounds out clean, then it could have been up there as battle of the day. But yeah, just disappointing 3rd round really let Bednar down. But hopefully he comes back. I know he's and ahhing about how he was going to carry on pursuing battling. Obviously his career's not gone probably how he envisioned it. He's had a lot of no-shows and obviously some chokes and stuff like that, but he's got potential, but Major Concerns, looking like he's jumped the queue. Do you know what I mean? He's now gone from one of the guys that he's got a bit of potential, to now people are saying he's one of the favourites to win the tournament. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm excited to see this, man. This sounds really good.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to watch it back. I don't think they're doing a pay-per-view for this one. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think they are. But hopefully, if they start coming out. Have you watched the episode one where
No, I haven't. I watched their their top 5 movie one, but I haven't actually seen the episode.
Yeah, if I'm honest with you, I've not watched much of the kind of stuff that's irrelevant to battle rap on there. Do you know what I mean? If I've seen the debating stuff like that, I just, it's not what I'm there for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I went on Sky Sports News and they started talking about that, I'm not going. You lose interest.
I'd like to hear Jeff Stelling's favourite French film, but I understand what you
mean. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I get they're trying to do different stuff, but yeah, I've just not. I've not watched that. I've watched most TV content, but not those tug of wars that aren't about battles. What was we saying? Sorry, yeah, that episode. Yeah, it's really good. I think you should watch it. It's good to see what they're trying to. I think it's a good kind of promo tool to really see what they're trying to do with this. It gives you a proper feel for people that haven't been to an event as well. I think it gives you a real kind of proper feel for what it's like almost. Yeah, that's well worth it. It's about half an hour. There's not actually too much from the battles in there, but it's a good watch. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely worth checking out. So where does that leave us now? What battles were next?
Loxy beating DMAC, right? Bit of a surprise.
Ooh. Yeah. This was the Yunnan Rivers moment.
Right.
This was the controversial decision. Do you know what I mean? This will be debatable. For me personally, I can see why Loxy won. I'm not saying that I gave it to her, but I can see why. So I had it as 1-1 going into the third round, with DMAC taking the first and her taking the second. Loxy's second round was probably one of the rounds of the battle. They both won DMAC won the first quite convincingly, and say Loxy won the second fairly convincingly. So obviously it come down to the third, and if I'm honest, it wasn't either of their best rounds. DMAC got more reaction, but he got reaction because he didn't say too much about it, but he used an angle about Loxy as I think one of her nephews died or something like that, like a kid. Do you know what I mean? So for me, that I wasn't a fan, if I'm honest. That's what. So yeah, he got reaction, but was it reaction because it was good content, or was it just kind of shock value reaction? Do you know what I mean? So for me, that's what cost him the battle. And this was one of the guys that was one of the favourites to win this after the last event. Do you know what I mean?
I remember seeing him at UKBL. He was great.
Yeah. I've not seen that because I didn't quite make it out. But yeah, I remember you saying that he was really good. You actually said to me as I was on the way up to the first academy, you was like, "Watch out for DMAC."
Yeah.
He was fucking sick. And yeah, hopefully. He did. I don't think he took it well that he lost. I think he left pretty much straight away.
Okay.
But now he's been back on the forums. He's congratulated her. So hopefully we see him, whether it's with PB or another league or what. Hopefully we see him about still, because he's got mad potential. He's got the pretty much performance down. Just work a little bit on the content and not bring up people's dead relatives, and I think you've got a good battler. Do you know what I mean? So I can see why Loxy won that battle. I didn't predict it. I thought DMAC would win it, but I can see why she got it. But that will be debated back and forth. When that comes out, that'll spark some attention in the forums, I reckon. But yeah, really, really good battle from both. It's been overlooked a little bit, actually, when people are having the kind of battle of the night conversations. But whether that's because of the reaction to the judge's decision, I'm not sure. But yeah, go Loxy.
I mean, yeah, great that it was 4-all for Tox and Flawless at the end. Like, no whitewashing either. Yeah,
no, I mean, I called it as being 4-4, but I had a different 4-4, basically. I think I got about half the. I think I got most of my predictions wrong and kind of ended up breaking even on it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so there's no reshuffling of the teams for the next event now. Team Tox and Team Flawless both got 4 guys still, so
Yeah.
interesting matchups potentially there as well.
LSD and Loxy,
so
maybe.
Should we go through the last few?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Loxy said she wanted to battle Dean after he beat Tidal. You know, which will be interesting. Sure. But you know, it's brave of her for kind of going for that guy because he's, you know, he had one of the best performances. So yeah, so they've got, so Tox have got Major Concerns,
iKid, Frost,
LSD,
and yeah,
and oh yeah, iKids, yeah. So yeah, that's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, so iKid, Major Concerns, Frost, and LSD, and Flawless have got DARPA, Blitz, Deviant, and Loxy. Yeah, so the potential for some interesting matchups there. I think Frost has battled all of those guys, has he nearly? Bar Deviant, actually, so maybe, yeah. I think has Frost battled Blitz, I feel like he has.
I don't think
he has. Okay, maybe he hasn't. But, you know, there's a lot of, like, Frost has already battled Loxy and DARPA, then DARPA's obviously already battled Frost, and he battled? No, he hasn't battled iKid, has he? Do you know what I mean? So, what battles are left then? I feel like we've skipped ahead looking at the teams. LSD Tidal.
I think that's it.
Judge T Deviant.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget Judge T? Yeah. How was it?
Yeah. You know what? I know he gets a lot of stick because you know some of the actions he does, but I predicted Judge T was going to win this. You know, purely because as much as Deviant's got a lot of potential, and when you listen to him, his writing is good, and when you watch battles back, sometimes you catch some stuff you didn't. But for me, the thing he was lacking was that sometimes, you know, he goes a little bit too quick and a little bit monotonous.
Sure.
So a lot of the, you know, the timing of your punchlines is obviously the delivery is really important, obviously, when you're doing that kind of punchline style, because people need to catch it and react to it and all that sort of stuff. And that was really what he was lacking. But, you know, he fixed it. he came really, really hard. And yeah, I think he took it. You can maybe argue 2-1, but you know, it was convincing that Deviant won that battle. Did I quote any? I can't remember if I quoted one of.
Oh, was that the DVD? What line?
Yeah, I quoted that saying it was shit, and it wasn't me throwing shade at Judge T because I like him as a guy, but that was up there as one of the worst bars I heard on the day.
Right.
I'm honest with you. Yeah, he said you only move up when you're rearranging DVDs, but some people liked it.
Yeah.
I said to a few people afterwards, I was like, that bar was shit. And then some people were like, no, I liked it. It was quite cheeky. I don't know. But...
Yeah, it's got a certain invention to it. Yeah, I can't begrudge. But Deviant just smashed it.
Yeah, Deviant had his best performance possibly ever, to be honest. It was, he really, really upped his game. He was really convincing. He showed kind of the potential that a lot of people knew he'd got. And like I said, Judge T did well, but he just got edged. It was like Deviant's best against like a pretty much average Judge T. So yeah, that won it. So yeah, that was another one I got wrong, but yeah, it left it at 4-4. So there we have it.
And I guess this will be on the network in the near future. So please, everyone, subscribe.
Yeah, I think they've been leaking them out quicker on the network than they have on the. Yeah, they bring them out on the network and then on YouTube, I think. But definitely subscribe to the network because there was some really, really good battles across the day. And yeah, it's exciting to see where this goes now. So, like I said, there's four left on each team, so there's potential for those matchups. So they're going to do one more academy event, and then, like I said, semis will be at match day 5, which means there'll be a few extra battles there, and 2 guys go through, get to be on the All-Star card. It's exciting.
It really is, yeah. It's cool, and it seems to be progressing nicely. And whereas the bigger experiment of Premier Battles in general has just fell into normal battle rap schisms, unfortunately, even though the format's really interesting, this is a bit smaller, isn't it? It's a bit more hermetically sealed, so you can sort of see these things playing out. And very cool to see them getting entranced into the league. Will, I always ask about the podcast, but how do people find out about it?
When I know something, you'll know something.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, like I said, we're doing it alongside the UK BRG guys. So it's made my life easier because I literally just have to record it and don't even have to edit it. Just send the stuff over to them, and they're going to do the kind of promo editing and release it. But it's coming. It's in the works. We've got some traction. We've got a chat about it, and we've recorded an episode, so it's in the pipeline.
All right. I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. And I want to say again, please people go subscribe to the Premier Battles channel on YouTube if you're not already on the network. Tons of great battles coming out. Tons of great battles that have already came out. Check out all the extracurricular content as well, including the Academy series. Episode 1 is up there. I will definitely catch that up, maybe do a little review in the future. Will, this has been great. Thank you again, man.
No worries, bro.
All right, and again, at Battle Rap Resume, Patreon is there. We're doing our event as well, August 25th, going down the Albert Memorial, Hyde Park. Get there for about 1 o'clock. I'll put the information down below. If you're listening on the live stream, we're going to get Connor on in about 10 minutes and do Don't Flop. So stay tuned. I'm going to leave this rolling. But Will, thanks again, man.
Cheers, mate.
All right, I'll cut off the call here, bro. But thank you again, bro. I'll probably get this out in like 2 days or something.
Yeah. Anytime, mate.
Easy, man. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Cheers, Will. Thanks, bro. Alright, guys, if you can hear me, I'll be back in like 10 minutes or so. Hey everyone, hey, I'm back. I just went for a drink. Oh man. Oh yes, as Nathan has shared, right. We have a merchandise page if you'd like to buy any Battle Rock Resume stuff. I'll just share it there. But yeah, we're not going to get the guy on until 10. So if you have any questions for me at all about the show or anything in general, or you just, general battle rap or whatever you want to ask, let me know. And we'll get into it in a second. I'll start going through these. But yeah, so it sounded like Retaliation went down pretty well. I mean, it's a shame. I think on paper, if all went to plan, it could have really rocked the foundations, But unfortunately, it seemed like for the most part, there were some good battles, but maybe as a whole, the vibe wasn't carved off. Can you guys hear me? Tomorrow we've got a sick episode with the author of Ben Page asking, are you going to be attending the Don't Flop Tryout event in September? Yeah, definitely. If I can get to it. If it's in London, then most likely, yeah, I will. I love these sort of events. And I think that, Don't Flop at this time, been so long since they've done one, and especially considering what's came before, we're just going to see how huge the brand is still to a certain extent within Battle Rap. Hopefully it'll summon up some interesting names, some choices, some people we've never heard before. And on the episode was just saying the other day that the sort of different caliber of people they've attracted and the wide diversity of it, in skill set and discipline and gender. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Definitely be attending that. Are you going to attend, Ben? That's the cool thing as well. I think even people that are like established, who may be established within the shadow of Don't Flop or on other leagues, etc., like now they get a chance to be on Don't Flop, and it's always a huge enticement. Shade saying, let's get Soliloquy, it's Summer Madness. Yeah, let's do that. we're just going to see how huge the brand is. Definitely be attending that. Are you going to attend, Ben? Oh, that's a cool. Not too long now, guys. Will Ross asking if I'm going to battle again. No, definitely not. It was a catastrophe. It wasn't a regret, but I regret that it didn't go better, all in all. But yeah, no, not going to battle again. Don't really feel the desire to be honest with you. Yeah, don't want to feel that shame again. Shout out to everyone who does battle, though. A lot of people said that it made me appreciate battlers, and I already appreciate them a huge deal. But even more so, yeah. Oh wow, the fridge. I've informally asked him, but not formally yet. But would you be willing to host the Fridge Joe versus Laffenstalk on Barstool? Yeah, that would be great. Actually, I'd definitely be down for doing that. If he's down, if you're down, that's cool, man. That'd be a fun episode. And like for you two guys to meet on the show as well, informally, that would be great. So yeah, I'm down, bro. Of course, I'm down. Yeah, Will, not necessarily going to battle again. It's just not, I don't know, the moments. Doesn't entice, I suppose. Just prefer to be a mindless pundit. But yeah, got lots of good stuff coming up. Got something on the Patreon already, which is basically me and Acre going through the top 10 nastiest battlers. So battlers that sort of go beyond the line, say horrific stuff. We discuss is there a line in battle rap, and just sort of use the 10 battlers as like jumping off points of their career, and really fun chat. Actually quite long as well, almost 2 hours, and yeah, Acre can talk, man, and I just let the guy go, and it was fun, a lot of fun, that dude. Good topic as well. Ben, yeah, you're going to be at the tryout event. That'll be cool. Shade, who you want in Respect to battle out of anyone if you could choose? Next battle for Respect BA. Probably Gemini or Soul. Difficult. Maybe Soul in Edinburgh or something like that. But yeah, Gem as well. I'd like to see him against Censor. I'd like to see him against. It's like, Respect VA is so good, and because he was away for quite a while, there is quite a lot of people he hasn't battled. Saurus again is another one that I could pluck out. I think he'd have great showing. Shocks as well. Like, I think Respect VA is incredible. So yeah, too many for me to choose. I suppose if I was having to pick one, Shade, probably I could go in for Soul. I'd say Soul. AFC in TP saying HK shoe in. Don't really know what you mean by that, but shout out you guy. Will Ross saying Acre can really talk. Yeah, he can. Yeah, he's good to have on the show actually. He can just go and go. But no, that was a sick episode. Sol versus Respect, yeah. Yeah, maybe it'll happen in the future. Maybe it'll happen on Don't Flop. Alright guys, let's see if I can get in touch with Connor. Okay, so Connor knows I'm trying to reach him. HK's fighting on the KSI versus Logan Paul event. No, I didn't. I need to watch that footage, actually. I read about that. And I read about how apparently KSI went at Logan Paul's dad as well. And talks about him having like terrible sperm for creating two idiots of that magnitude. Will Ross saying thoughts on Don't Flop birthday doing a month's worth of events in October, particularly with most other leagues having events in October. You know, October's about a month, but, you know, I don't know. Maybe there is purpose behind it, but still, it's his prerogative. They've got to be competitive to a certain extent, not collaborative. Oh, hang on, let's go. Yo.
Hey, Tom.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm really good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I'll just check. I'll just check with the live stream that they can hear you. In fact, I'm just gonna get a quick. Oh no, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. So, okay. So yeah, they can hear you. You ready to go, man?
Perfect. Let's go.
Right. So yeah, just before we go, in terms of the structure, we'll just sort of talk about Don't Flop as a whole to begin with. You know, going to the event, that sort of thing, and then we'll basically go through your incredible update, Fred.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
As always, and maybe mention a little bit about like just, you know, updating the Fred zone, and we'll talk about all the battles that got cancelled and, you know, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, and also obviously we're doing this live, so if anyone has any questions throughout or whatever about the event, obviously Connor was there, so we can get into it. We can talk a little bit about Young Crumpet as well.
Of course.
But yeah, are you good to go, man?
Perfect. Let's go, man.
All right. Let's just make sure this is all loading correctly. Okay, cool. You ready to go, man?
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Hey, everyone. Tom here, Battle Rap Resume. Don't Flop had its inaugural event. It's kind of rising from the ashes. Was that UKBL league title? I'm not quite sure if that was an event name of theirs, but you know, Don't Flop are back in a certain way, although some of the key members are sadly absent, as we've chronicled in past episodes. But nonetheless, Retaliation went down. This was Sunday, the 22nd of July. We're live streaming this at the moment. If you're listening, if you've got any questions about this event, let us know and we'll go through it. I wasn't there, but way more valuable than my expertise would have been the man Connor, who is a unbelievably skilled chronicler of the live update, and he was privy to the return of and Co down at Don't Flop Retaliation. Connor, how's it going, man?
Really good, man. How are you?
I'm well, and of course you moonlight as well. I say moonlight, but now become very established as a battler in your own right. Young Crumpet, man, giving me a lot of hours of entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah. I love battling.
I mean, your style. We'll go into it on a Battle Resume episode in the future, but it's that kind of wizard braggadocious kind of gumbars, you know.
Inspired a lot by a battler you're quite familiar with, Diego Diavolo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you count
him as a big influence.
Yeah, like I think like watching him versus Russ live was like seeing all these punchlines he did, and I was like, oh, I want to do those type of punchlines. I know I can write those type of punchlines. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Game of Thrones, I'm shooting for Daenerys target, stuff like that.
Right.
Was like an influence for myself.
Yeah, good to hear. Good to hear that Dago played on that. And Dago Davolo always gets mentioned in Battle Rap Resume, no matter how precarious the reference. But here we're talking about Don't Flop's return. And some people are in two minds, Connor. I know you're a dedicated fan. I know you've been to a lot of events. I know you're not necessarily a judgy fan. You just, you go where the battle rap is. But did you understand that some people may have been hesitant to go to Retaliation after us goings on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there were some big problems with and no one really knew where it was going to go. Some people were like, a bit curious. Some, and it turned out great.
Talk to me about the venue, because I don't think Don't Flop's ever had an event there. How were the surroundings?
Yeah. It was called Yellow Art Studios. It's kind of like it's got a massive. You walk in, it's a massive smoking area, and then it leads into like a stage inside, with a bar and like a stage, like a proper little venue. But yeah, it's really nice. Like massive smoking area where everyone hung out, like in between battles, and like just a big old stage.
And how packed was it? I saw a few stills, a few videos. Seemed like there was a decent sized audience.
Yeah, I'd say there was 100, 120 people there, so quite a big one.
And a lot of devout fans, a lot of people you'd seen over the years. Was it newer fans? There was a clientele.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people I didn't recognise. I saw some of the more devout fans there. Martin Richards was there, as you would expect.
Of course.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of battlers, both who were on the event and a lot who weren't.
That's good. That's good to see. Because sometimes when I watch some of the older Don't Flop battles, they have huge crowds, like Fifth Birthday, or like Soul versus C Major or whatever in Ministry. It's like, I think, where are these people now? Like, there's so many people watching it. Are they not coming to these events sometimes when they're a little empty? So it's good to see there's a bit of a better outcome for that. In spite of this, though, Connor, there was a lot of cancellations, right, at the last minute.
Yeah. So there was supposed to be Matter versus Rivers. Matter was there, but Rivers couldn't make it. I think he had like travel problems.
Okay.
And Quill versus DNA was supposed to happen, but I think DNA he had some sort of surgery, so he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And Jay Shaw versus like a freestyle battle was supposed to go off. But I think Jay Shaw, he went out the night before, and I think he got into some legal trouble or something.
I believe so, yeah.
He posted something about that, basically saying why he couldn't come, which is a shame, but it happens,
I mean, I actually tweeted if I actually get no shit on my own event. And it did happen, unfortunately. I think one of the things most people were looking forward to, was returning, was to see what Jay Short would come up with, especially his opening line. And that was a bit of a disappointment. But in terms of the atmosphere, in terms of the patented, the famous, the brilliant Don't Flop UK crowd, how was it overall on the night?
Really good. There were a lot of vibes. It's one of those events. Everyone's drunk, everyone's happy, and they're just there to, they're just there to react and be fans. And it was all brilliant, Very reactive crowd.
Yeah, it was. And we kicked off then with Bowski and Raptor, right?
Yes.
How was it?
So, a really good battle. We obviously had Raptor. If you haven't seen him, watch him versus Nugget. But he came all the way over from Dublin for this, and obviously we got the return of the Bowstock.
Oh my God.
It was a really good. It was definitely like a bars versus jokes battle. Bowski, being Bowski, he was just clowning everyone, and he had a lot of potato jokes, and Raptor, he had a couple jokes, but it was 99% bars, And
Raptor bought you a drink early on.
Yeah, because because we because I went over to Bal in Dublin.
Yeah, Chopping Fables, right?
Fables,
yeah.
Which was where he battled Nugget. So we met there. You know, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, and we met each other there and became friends. And I've been a big supporter of, like, you know, Rap is Full and the Irish scene in general since he's just like recognized that, you know. And so when I told him, when I found out he's coming to this event, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and meet him there, because I think seeing the Irish, obviously Sire was supposed to be on it, but we'll get on to that later. I think that the fact that the Irish people that I met over in Dublin were there was like the catalyst to me going, and so it was great to see him. And the moment I saw him, he shook my hand and bought me a drink. So yeah.
And how was the Bounce Dogs material?
It was really funny, you know. A return to form for him. It was probably his best material on Don't Flop. Just really funny. Obviously, standard Irish jokes. You know, he was just clowning everyone. It was hilarious.
I love that Bowski was employed in the first return clash. I think that's inspired. Shout out to Ricardo Lewis in the stream as well for the £2 donation. Appreciate that, man. It says Sub Tom, big up. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. But yeah, good to hear that was a good battle. And then announced the October tour, right? Every Friday, Saturday of October.
So just before like the battle happened, he announced that basically every week of October, they're going like every Friday and Saturday. They're going to like a different city. So I think he said like Bristol, Leeds, London. So let's just say first Friday they go to like Manchester, and the Saturday they go to Liverpool. It's a different city next Friday and the next Saturday. So that's 8 cities, 8 events essentially. But it's like a tour. I think it's going to be like the same battles. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And just going around to all the cities, like the Raise the Bar tour.
Yeah, like Willsey and Danny Jack, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when they obviously Top Flop Reading, and then they kind of like went around and had it at Sunburn Free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and apparently they uploaded the worst version of it, or I'm not quite sure the full story with that one, but yeah. Bowski dropping a Danny Ramsey bar to be expected?
He did. It was something about like I'll leave you looking like a Danny Ramsey victim or something like that.
Oh my God.
In his first round.
Bounce dog.
Yeah. And like I guess obviously all the crowd will be like familiar with UK bar rap and maybe in the group, so they will know about Danny Ramsey. So it did get a bit of a mad reaction.
Yeah, it sounds like a good battle. Maybe some stereotypes there, tracksuits being mentioned. You know, a lot of sort of Aunts and Monkeys when he remixed it, right? What a
sung like the intro to "The Sun Goes Down," but just instead of like the original lyrics, just like sang about how Raptor's dickhead basically, and sang loads of Irish jokes in it. Yeah, it was really funny. Really, this is Barstock we're talking about.
Yeah,
you know, he's no stranger to singing Joe as it gets rounds, and you know, he definitely brought it.
Yeah, didn't he battle Mixie in a sing-off?
He did. What April Fool's? I think that was. It wasn't the last April Fool's, was it? It was 2014. No, the last April Fool's was Maypole, and then the April Fool's before that was the Big Cannon Raptor.
Yes,
it was April Fool's 2014, which was I think like the 4th one. Yeah, they had like a sing-off against Mixie.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun battle. I'm pretty sure we've spoken about it somewhere on this show. I can't remember where, but I've definitely rewatched it and got some notes. And yeah, they both really do justice to the silly concept, and it's pretty rewatchable. But who wins in the end for you?
I had it 2-1 to Bowski, but I do feel it's one of those where like I can watch on a different day, and obviously like Bowski, he's writing for the crowd. He's saying, obviously like everyone's gonna laugh and that, and when you're in the room, you're laughing along with that. It brings those vibes. But on a different day, if the crowd didn't react more, if Raptor could have took it on camera, Raptor will probably take it. Raptor fucking brought it as well. But yeah, I feel it is that debatable. But today I Bowski.
Next up was Mickey, and we were supposed to have Mickey versus Sayo. And I mean,
so Sayo dropped out 3-4 days before.
What a shame.
Yeah, and so they brought in Sean O'Mac on like 3 days replacement.
Which, I mean, respectable thing to do.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a little bit. I think we're missing something there with Sayo versus Mickey. I think that would have been something special. That
would have been amazing, but this is like the second or third time it's been rescheduled. No doubt it'll be rescheduled the fourth. Yeah. The funny thing about Mickey versus Shauno is that was actually supposed to be the headline for the card Me versus Magic was on. But I think Shauno no-showed. So I think they did already have 3 rounds ready for each other.
Right.
So yeah. But I don't think they actually wore those rounds. It was like Shauno was like the rounds were like well written, but they were quite short. And and Mickey brought it as well. It was like the other a very like bars versus jokes battle.
Mickey's first especially is sounding pretty explosive.
Yeah, he was like, again, he was like for the crowd. It was really hilarious, like just going in on everyone.
Yeah, I mean Mickey's second as well. He disses Bowski, he disses Hulk, he disses Blunt Ted.
Yes, that was pretty much like he started it by like pretty much getting on his knees and like thanking Rowan for letting him back and being like, "Oh fuck, I've missed Don't Flop, fuck King of the Ronalds, fuck Bowski and Hulk, who have obviously been in with King of the Ronalds, fuck Blunt Ted for Grassroots, fuck Canal." But I don't know why he did that, but basically dissing everyone who's associated with King of the Ronalds. Obviously, like, this is Mickey we're talking about. I don't think it was serious at all, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it was really, really. Yeah, I need to see this. Apparently, this is myself as well.
Yeah, like obviously, I think you had a bit of a like. Didn't you have some? I remember you had like a big podcast with him.
Yeah.
Like where you discussed something. Like, didn't he took offense at something you said, and or something like that.
Okay.
And it was pretty much like, it's in that sense. I don't think he meant anything by it,
No, I'm sure. But yeah, I wanna see this. And it's a bit of a shame, really, that it wasn't a solo one. Finally, I'm gonna say it once more. But yeah. I mean, Sean O'Mac can be pretty hilarious. He's quite a natural with this sort of thing.
He did have a couple good jokes. Which I think was based on how he looked, because I think his second round was like based on the whole Mickey Worthless Judge Winder thing, and it was calling him off that, and just dissing him for fraud. And I remember there was he spent the first half of the second just talking to him about that and saying, "Oh, you did it for fraud," and Mickey kind of flipped it in his third. I saw his third, like, "Yeah, I did fraud. So what?" You know what I mean? So this was the classic, like, don't give a fuck Mickey, which is the best Mickey there is.
So he was what, recharged by the surroundings of Don't Flop, or?
Oh yeah, this was top form. Like, that he had brought a lot of energy to his performance. Same with Bowski, like, really energetic, really just for the crowd. I'm gonna make everyone laugh.
And was he co-presenting like Days of Yore?
No, he wasn't. he didn't do any of that at all. It was all because the 3 bars that happened while I was there, it was all co-present, just presenting himself, you know.
Yeah, there was the merch was apparently selling really well. Did you see?
Yeah, like it was Rowan's brother, Corin, I think, and just behind a merch stand and like, you know, big table with loads of hats, a big rail next to him with loads of jackets and just like signs on plastered to the table with all like 2 for £10 on jackets, you know. So, and yeah, I think there was a point where announced to the crowd like, "Oh, the merch is selling really well. Can you buy some more?" You know.
And we get into the big battle of the day, Bonnie versus Respect BA.
I think that was the main event, the one everyone wanted to see, you know, the most. Just like, because everyone loves Respect BA, and I mean Bonnie Godiva, I think she's a bit hit or miss, but you know, when she's hit, you know, it's really good, and everyone was hoping for the hit, you know.
Yeah, thank you, Ricardo Lewis, again for the £10 in the donation, man. You're too generous. I really appreciate that. But apparently, in terms of throwing away money as well, Bonnie threw money at Respect BA.
Yeah, it was like, I'm from Respect, and just like threw a load of dollar bills in the air, just that was just like on top of Respect. And I think he flipped that in Bonnie's second. She had like a flip or something about her ghostwriting, and was like, okay, something like, I'm gonna give you 10p or something, and you give me a round. And Respect had like a conversational rebuttal, like, you just threw a load of tenors at me, you know. So yeah, it was really funny, and the whole crowd loved it, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty outlandish. And how was BA? From what I read here, and he's a sort of writer that translates so well in these update threads because he's so clean, and
because
it sounds like he was great.
Back-to-back punches, but his delivery is like, his delivery and flow is just slow enough that, you know, and he gets so much reaction that he'll say it, and it's perfect for updating. When you know, if you do it fast, you can pretty much catch every punch there is, which is really good.
Yeah, but, apparently Bonnie Godiva had a Mir Khan line, which is, I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I read it in the comments, and someone said that was a bar that Shuffler used to versus Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. The crowd really weren't like reacting to Bonnie so much today, you know. And she was getting slept on a lot, you know.
And what was it for BA? Just complete reverence?
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone was reacting to every single punchline, you know. She was like, you see on the footage, Bonnie did have a lot of slept on material, in my opinion, you know. And and then because Bonnie went first, and she had a bit of slept on, and the crowd weren't really reacting. Goes over to BA's first, says the first bar, and the whole crowd erupts, you know what I mean?
So it sounds like BA in his third, especially. So many cranes ran on you, your pussy has its own conductor.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about BA, when he'll have maybe like 4 or 8 direct bars around, and the rest of it, which is will be like Tony, he had pedo jokes, Sirius, he had gay jokes, and today was like slut jokes. At the same time, it can be, which can be a bit generic, but at the same time, he writes them so well, you know, that everyone just loves them, and that they're hilarious, you know. And he had definitely got the crowd with that one from the moment, you know. So yeah, this was, I wouldn't say it's, maybe on the level he was versus Tony, which was really good.
Sounds like a great battle. I don't think
Yeah.
well, there isn't going to be a pay-per-view. I know that for a fact. They're going to release these old school on YouTube. How was the filming looking? Because I know Ur's got a sort of exciting new talent on cinematography wise.
Yeah, so in terms of filming, you know, the cameraman for the day was Lawrence Ellis, who's the guy who does all the dub battles in Sheffield.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've seen Scandal in the Wind 2 battles, you know, Max P versus Young Crumpet releasing next Sunday, and it's filmed really well, you know. And yeah, it's the same guy he brought his own made 2 films with him for a second angle. It was really good.
Well, just before we get to the final battle, everyone listening in the live stream, if you've got any questions for me or for Young Crumpet about the event or anything else, let us know and we'll get to them before we close the episode. But yeah, the last battle you had to miss, is that right? You had to head off.
Well, actually, there was a battle before that.
Okay.
To make up for the lack of battles, they had like a freestyle. It was a 2-on-2. I wasn't there for this, but I heard all about it.
Sure.
Canelo and Bowski versus Mickey and Bonnie.
Right.
All freestyle 2-on-2. Like, obviously, I can't really comment on it, but but Canelo, Bowski, and Mickey are 3 of the funniest people in UK battle rap at the moment. And Bonnie's pretty good at bars, you know. It was bound to be a classic.
And that was recorded, right?
Yes, I think it was actually on the stage.
All right. Okay.
So yeah,
that's a cool one that's come about, nonetheless. But yeah, stuff like Cool versus DNA would have been very welcome. And apparently, P Soldier Press 1 was a bit of a wash, really, with P recycling.
Yeah, I saw that, but I think Bobby Rex like commented and countered it like it was like P's slogan or something.
Right.
But yeah, I remember Press was really late because his train got delayed or something, and so the bar was like last minute, like at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, apparently Press 1 took the decision for 1, which I'm not mad at because I think Press is a lot better on beats than P is.
Yeah. I was saying earlier on the show as well, it wasn't all going to be grime, you know, it wasn't going to be P's sort of hunting grounds or whatever. It was going to be an even split, and you know, Press 1 maybe just comes slightly more professional with it, and the Bills are battling, the Innuendo battling his music, and the guy is supremely talented and just growing, you know, as an on-beat assassin really, and he deserves that title. So regardless of P's performance, I'm still really excited to see the work Press does.
I think with P, he's he's very good on grime. I haven't really heard him doing hip hop, and obviously, if there was a bit of hip hop in there, it may have not worked so well for him. While Press, we've heard him on grime. You know, he's pretty good, and he's very good on hip hop. So you know, it's P has his strengths and weaknesses. Press is just a great all rounder, and I think the versatility took it for him.
What's the who does Press face next?
Pardon?
Who does Press face next in his defense?
Hard to say. I don't know. I was going to say him versus Bobby Rex, but I think they already battled.
They did already battle, yeah.
I like Press the first opponent in tournament. I mean, Bill starts out to it. I've heard Flabs is really good on beat. Maybe Dialect. Maybe a Bobby rematch, you know?
Yeah, Dots maybe?
Dots, if he comes back to battling, would be very, you know, I mean,
Twisted
we
Pennies?
don't know. Pardon?
Twisted Pennies?
Yeah, if he hasn't battled in what? His last battle was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flabs, maybe an Eyes return. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a few out there. There's definitely a few.
Yeah, there's a lot of very good on beat battlers like in the roster.
Yeah, they could definitely make that a headline or a centerpiece of an event. You know, Press versus X or Y. Definitely looking forward to that. A shame, as we said before, that a lot of these battles didn't go down. Again, in the comments, if you've got any questions for us, anything you want us to discuss, let us know there. But I mean, all in all, what are your thoughts on this event?
It was a very good event, and from the bars I witnessed, very good vibes and a strong return to Don't Flop. I really hope events are like that in the future because it's great to have Don't Flop back. When as best when he's like completely like transparent and open to everyone, and I guess that helped with like because he's been like completely transparent with everyone. He's been open. We booked a venue. This is how much we earned. And I think when he's honest like that, this is how you can like rebuild the fans' trust as well as like putting on great events and great battles like that. So hopefully, Don't Flop will be back. Back to form.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about Quill in the comments. People want to see Quill versus Censor.
Wow, that would be very good. It'd be interesting because Censor's always like, it seems like he kind of handpicks battles where he can have like this personal angle, like with the Danny Ramsey versus Censor versus Shocks, and he's at his strength when he's got this angle, he's at his best. He's got this angle that I can go in and make it really effective. It seems like he handpicks battles in that way. So if that battle was happen, it'd be interesting to see like how he takes Quill.
And I don't know if you saw the latest. It just went on before we went on air. From Code Red, the Next in Line 3 announcement.
Rivers versus XL.
Rivers versus XL.
And Tory like said something about possibly doing a Tox versus Dialect on B.
Wow.
So that could be potential like next the fourth announcement.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but so that may be 2-1 there. But Rivers is one of my favourites. It's obviously a shame he couldn't make it today, but he was very good. If you haven't seen Rivers versus Frankie, buy the pay-per-view on the UK Battle Group website, as well as him versus Guame at the Island. And he killed both of those. But yeah, Rivers is really good, and XL's one of my favorites from the US. He's really like one of the most consistent people out there, and really good lines.
Yeah, he's a great battler. Yeah, I first came across him on UFF actually, battling Anubis, and then found his other battles where he's got like Danny Myers on King of the Dart, and faced Oops recently on there as well. And he has quite a dense, enigmatic style that relies on a lot of sort of mythological references and architecture, and he has quite a unique palette. I wonder how he'll translate.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll maybe cater to the crowd, and just say, "Oh, I can do like British soccer bars, British football bars." You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll translate well. They wouldn't book that. They wouldn't book him if we weren't big fans of him over here in the first place. So I think it will react, and I guess Rivers is kind of the same stylistically, very similar. So I guess if you're a fan of Rivers, you're a fan of XL, and there's a lot of fan of Rivers.
Yeah. This could be, if they both really bring it to each other, I think this could be quite an incredible clash. OKG2000 asking in the comments, Tom was hosting. Who was his co-host? It was just was it, Connor, hosting? It
was just all 3 bars I saw. No one was hosting except her.
Okay. Scotty Nicholas saying from California, been a fan of Don't Flop for years. I hope the best for them. The UK talent is great for battle rap. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, with Summer Madness 8 going to London, Connor, like, what are some hopes for UK-US matchups for you?
I don't know.
Gem against someone maybe?
Soul is like, obviously, B-Dot's like your favourite at the moment, and he's got that same like really dense, really layered writing, and really like break someone down. And Soul, everyone loves Soul. I think it's a style stylistically, it's a really good matchup. You know, I remember Shocked versus Riz was supposed to go down at that Order and Chaos Gab card, and I think that'd be really good. Like, if Shocks ever decides to come back, because I think his censor one was like his retirement. He said, but obviously he's probably written these 3 rounds for Briz. If it was on like the main stage of the URL, that I think that would really translate. You know, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I guess with they had to do their market research when doing this, and they were like, okay, what do the British crowd like? You know, and then bring over battlers that cater to it.
Yeah,
so,
Scotty Nicholas in the comments saying Geechee versus Scoop.
That'd be incredible.
That would be incredible, yeah.
You know, I think they've still got that same that like rapid fire punching style, you know, and like when they talk that stuff about guns, about drugs, I think Scoop's the most believable in the UK when it comes to that. You know, and Geechee is. I think Geechee's just been released from prison, so it's chance it won't happen.
Yeah, Geechee's growth, like, you know, from going from like Louise one-off to battling, you know, JC and like.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, he's quite a good like story, like you know, Arise. You know, he is like that classic tale of the underdog. Just coming to light.
Yeah, B. Dot versus Gemini, IJMU saying.
That'd be interesting. I mean, I personally think that's a whitewash for Gem. He's got a lot of like firing points, a lot of angles that Gem could use, as opposed to B. Dot.
Yeah,
it would be a nice like matchup stylistically, I reckon. You know.
It would be. I think it'd be one of Gem's sort of meatiest opponents to tackle, but quite difficult as well. And I'd like to see them go at each other. Soul versus Danny Myers is one that I've actually wanted as well from This Is Battle Rap Bitch.
Yeah, that would be really fucking good, actually.
Yeah.
It's like,
because Danny Myers is such a Soul fan. He loves Soul.
Yeah. I don't know. For all we know, he could have actually wrote these three rounds already, because if he's that much of a fan. I mean, if it's in the UK, I think he definitely caters to the crowd, you know. And I think it's the same with Gemini and the Gemini match, when you know, there's a lot more that when Danny would probably have a lot more like material, you know. Obviously, Soul has home crowd advantage, but I think a lot more firing points. Obviously, there's all these angles about Soul that Danny could use. Well, no one really knows much about Danny, you know.
No, he does wear his heart on his sleeve, though. There are a lot of interviews where he reveals his sort of life, and I think he has like 8 children in many different states, and you know, and he sort of changed his whole world ethic to follow battle rap, and you know, in New York. And...
Yeah. And oh yeah, he paid like, wasn't it Rex? Didn't he pay Rex like
12
racks?
Yeah, 12,000. Yeah.
I do think that if anyone can break down that whole parallel universe thing that Danny does, it's Soul.
Yeah. He do some firebar quoting a physicist like, "I invented parallel universes" and shit. Like, yeah, I think that would be great. Sean saying in the comments, Disaster versus BA would be a great don't flop battle that would raise a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah, it would be very interesting. That would be a typical like bars versus jokes crowd, and I think a Disaster would resonate with the crowd a lot. You know. Yeah, especially if that's like in a small room, that would be incredible.
I think so. If you go back to that sort of you know, blood in the water sort of aesthetic.
Yeah, like just with a really reactive crowd, and yeah, it's like both sides of like the bar jokes spectrum.
Yeah, LJMU. Oh, thanks again, Ricardo, for donating, man. Very, very kindly, bro.
That's what
LJMU saying, please get Twisted Pennies on the Battle Rap resume card. We've sort of booked it all already, but maybe if we did a future one, definitely like to get pennies on. Yeah, that would be sick, man. Gemini versus Loso, OKG 2000 saying that
would be a very interesting one. You know, I don't know. Gemini's still got that, in my opinion, but Loso can definitely hold his own versus Gemini, I think.
Yeah, Verse Tracker saying respect VA versus Asaurus and Soul versus Ilmac need to happen. Yeah, there are those certain battles that are just, there's been enough time, there's been enough build up. We just, you know, I think Mike P was on the Let's Talk Battle Rap podcast recently, and he was so many salient points, so many wise points he was saying with his raw analysis of the culture. And one of them is like, where people talk about this battle doesn't have a story, and he's like, you know, there's no what is a story? It's just like, we're battle rappers, like we signed the contract, that's the story, like, you know, it's just about people facing off. So some things do need to go down. Carter Dean versus Campson Kid.
I think with like, obviously you had the Swords versus Archaic. But the first time, and that was supposed to happen like a couple of times, the first time it was supposed to happen was like back in 2008 or 2009 when they did a card called like, Don't Flop did a card called like Send for the Souls. And the first time it was headliners were 3 the Souls matches. One was, I think, O'Shea, one was Archaic, and one was Respect. So that's been like, that's a bit of history, the same as like Swords versus Archaic.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And it was just a shame that it didn't happen, but lots of those ones that always need to go down. Please let us know your questions in the comments below. We're going to wrap up the episode fairly soon, but you know, the future of Don't Flop for you, then it's looking pretty rosy in a way.
Yeah, I mean, they did say that in terms of the tour, they're going to announce it tomorrow, and it is like, this is like the 10th birthday tour. It's not just some like raise the bar. He did call it the 10th birthday tour.
Right.
So, yeah.
10BW, it's got a ring to it.
10B4W.
10B4W, wow. Yeah, it definitely is pretty spellbinding stuff, man. But I guess we just encourage people to subscribe to the channel if you're not already on Don't Flop. They've still been uploading things here and there. Have you watched any of those like secret level verses? Yeah,
like when they have different rappers freestyle. I've watched a couple that are really good. Like, it's always good to, since Don't Flop still has like, 400,000 subscribers, it's still brilliant to see, like, obviously people may not be too familiar with these artists, so to use Don't Flop as a platform for musicians as well as battlers, it's all brilliant. It brings back, it's like a throwback to the drops, you know.
Yeah, it really is. It definitely really is, man. And, you know, again, Don't Flop is there if you want to support it. If you don't want to support it, it's your decision. I understand that. I don't judge. I don't really care. It's just battle rap. Thank you to everyone in the chat who's been hanging out, who's been going through. As ever, this has been Battle Rap Resume. Tom, if you want to help support the show, please leave a review on iTunes. Positive review would be greatly appreciated. Patreon is there. If you want to give back to the show, you want to support, you want to get access to everything like this before it goes live on the main channel. Connor, I guess yourself, how do people get at you? How do people, your battles, of course?
Yeah, so I've got, 3 battles out now. Well, the DARPA one, the Magic Mike, and the Manic. My Huey one should be dropping about Huey Moving Rappers Full in April, and that should be dropping anytime soon. And my one versus Max Pepsi is probably my best battle I've done yet, and it's coming out on the 29th, Sunday the 29th, around 12 p.m. on Dub Scandal.
And what is it about that battle that was so good for you?
Well, it was probably my best, at least my most like comfortable material, but at the same time, Max definitely had the best performance, you know, that I've come up against. You know, better than Magic Mike, better than DARPA. You know, he was really good, like probably his best performance ever. You know, I think the thing with Max, he's been battling like 3-4 years now, and he's done pretty much everything like he set out to achieve. You know, about like Zeus, which is his biggest inspiration. And so the fact that he can like doesn't have any goals, but he's just like taking battles for fun, it's making him a bit more comfortable. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he was really good. Like no one was expecting it.
And battle-wise, what's 2018 looking like for you? The latter half of it.
I've got one battle locked in. It's gonna happen in October. It's my biggest battle today. I'm not gonna say anything apart from that. Look out for the announcement. And after that, I'm probably going to be taking a break from battle rap, like or from battling. Like I may help set up events, but I'm doing a masters this year, so I've got to like put all my focus into that. You know.
Of course, bro. And the legacy of battles that you leave behind and can return to is very impressive. And on behalf of all the community, thanks again, man, for your brilliant update threads. So useful, so interesting. Everyone enjoys reading them on the UKBR group. It's appreciated, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I love it. I love doing updating. You know, just seeing everyone like appreciate it. Everyone's happy with it. It makes me happy. You know. And thanks to you for giving us the podcasts.
Of course, bro. Yeah, go subscribe to Don't Flop. Go subscribe to any other league in the land as well. Subscribe to Battle Rap Resume. Get at me at Battle Resume on Twitter, on the email at gmail.com. Young Crumpet, finally, what battles should people check out? What's the one you should always point people towards?
My best performance out now is my Manic one. It's on Dub Scandal. It's probably I don't want to say it's my favorite, but you know, it's my best performance out now. If you want to check out, you know, it's a really good one, I guess. You know, yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for everyone for listening. This has been Tom, Battle Rap Resume. Young Crumpet, thanks again.
Thank you. And thank you, Carter, for the donations.
Yes, yeah, of course. Thank you, man. That was great, bro. Thank you again.
Yeah, lovely to be back.
Yeah, well, I'll probably get this out in a few days. I'll let you know exactly when it'll drop. But I had this guy who wrote this battle rap book on, and he's the sort of interview tomorrow. So I'll probably put it out a little bit after that. But thanks again for coming on after the event, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, right. So good. Anytime, man.
Take it easy, bro. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Right, bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the stream, as always. Any final questions, let me know. And then I'm going to get out of here.
And you know, some of got some tool being good that he wanted from him there and legitimacy from him there, and I found being good that just because I'm sure these guys get messages getting in, got some decent stuff from him, but it just wound up not. I guess basically none of it made the final cut, I guess, but I mean it was still useful information. So there was guys like that, and then there's other guys that I did interviews with, and then as it came down to it, they were like, they decided they didn't want to be quoted or whatever. So. But there was definitely guys I would have liked to have gotten. I wanted to get